Hi, it's Lisa Cuneo and welcome to my scrapbook table. This layout is for the Beautiful Blossoms Challenge blog that I create a layout for each month, and we just celebrate all things floral. And I took this picture in Washington, D.C., actually in Arlington, Virginia last month, and I had always wanted to see these beautiful pink trees. I think they're cherry blossom trees. And we just caught the very end of it when we were there. The trip wasn't planned about that, but we just happened to be there at the right time. And even if these are not cherry blossom trees, they were absolutely beautiful. And so I am going to make a page about that. And I have a piece of 49 in Market. It's from the Tranquility pack. And I don't have any of the embellishments that go with Tranquility, so I just have the paper, but a lot of 49 in Market stuff goes together. So I'm using this wood grain with some florals on it. I might use some of this gingham, I'm not sure. But here's what else I've done. I used one of 49 in Market's stamp and die sets to create some leaves. I plan to use this little stamp set. It was from a Stampin' Up! Paper pumpkin kit, I believe. I'm going to stamp and cut out some florals. Here are some random things I pulled from my stash that might work. Here's some puffy hexagons. The pink and cream ones could work. Here's a couple word phrases that I might use. I have this, which is the manufacturer strip from here. These are from 2003, the package said. They're Mrs. Grossman's. They were in the Creative Memories bag I bought a while ago simply because I wanted the circle cutter that was in there. And I have these in albums from years and years ago, but they might work here. Here's a couple flowers that could work, though I don't really like the glitter. These are just a random bunch of tags. This is a map piece. It's 49 in Market, and we were traveling, so that might work. Here's another tag. I might get rid of little and just have moments. Some more tags. This is from a different 49 in Market collection. All of these are from Moonlit Garden. They are left from a wedding album that I did. So I may use some of those frames or some of the layering pieces, which will work nicely. I also pulled out some rub-ons and a glassine bag that I may use. And I have this card that I might do some journaling on. I also have this that says beautiful, which I'm thinking could go on there and be my title, but I'll decide. So right now, I'm going to go ahead and stamp some flowers and get those cut out, and then I will be back and get started putting things together. So I spent way too much time creating flowers for this, but that's okay. And I don't end up using the small ones. They just didn't look right. But I saved them because I can put those on a card or something else soon. I have a piece of floral vellum that I matted my photo on. I kind of wish I had put some white behind it first. Then I know I want to use this as a little shelf, and I'm going to add some things to that shelf. Here's the Mrs. Grossman's sticker, and there are two parts to it, so I add one now and one later. It creates a nice little border along underneath the shelf. I think you'll be able to see it in the close-ups, but there is a stamped leaf pattern on those die-cut leaves. I decided I am going to use this piece that says beautiful for my title. I tried a few different things to put behind it, and I went with the blue because it does match the blue in the flowers on the page, and that looks nice together. There I added the lacy part of the Mrs. Grossman sticker. I wasn't sure how to adhere this, but I just put some tiny drops of glue behind the thickest part of the letters, and once it dried, you don't see them. So I was happy about that. As I was going to put this down, I realized there's a coating on the front of it. I kind of thought there might be, something to peel off on the back and then it would have some adhesive, but actually there was a coating on the front, so that was kind of weird. This is the first one from the package that I've used, so I wasn't sure. And I just tuck it beneath the vellum and use my ruler because lately I cannot get anything straight without a ruler. I added a little bit of the same blue that's behind the title to the shelf at the bottom to bring that color down there. And now I'm adding my leaves and the flowers. I ended up using a different flower set. It's actually a close to my heart set because it had a shadow, or it was like a two-step stamp. So you stamp the solid part and then you stamp the floral details on top of it. And I just used my, I can't think of it, stamp positioner thingy to make a bunch of them. And I cut more than I'll use on this layout, but again, I can add them to a card or something later. And I decided I want to pop up some of the leaves. You can also see there that I've added part of a frame. This was half of a frame that I had used the rest of on another layout. And I think as I watched this video and was editing, I've decided I need to add a couple more small leaves on top of the roses. So I'll go in and do that before this goes in my album. There we go. For the colors, I really wanted to use Distress Oxides, but none of the pinks that I have were right. So I ended up using Petal Pink from Stampin' Up, which is very, very light. But I used I double stamped it. So 2 coats of the Petal Pink were enough to make them stand out nicely. And again, I think in the close-ups you'll be able to see that even though you don't see it well on the screen right now. So I glued one leaf down and I wanted to pop up another set of leaves on top of it. Then I decided, I want to tuck this frame in here. And I had part of a ticket that I wanted to put behind it. And so there, now you can see that it's popped up. And I'm tucking a flower in at the top, and I do add one more. And I add another sprig of leaves in the bottom right corner of the photo. I was debating where to put that one, and I end up just putting it on the top. But again, I'm going to add a couple small leaves from this same set on top of there. Okay. Now I have that piece that says write it down. And, oh no, I'm sorry. This one says, I think enjoy this moment. And it was pretty flimsy, so I backed it with some cardstock to put there. Here's where the third embellishment cluster is going to be, and it's not really a full cluster. I just wanted the set of leaves there. Well, maybe I do add a flower. I don't have the layout in front of me right now, so I'm not sure. And it hasn't been very long since I did it. Now I'm adding the Simple Stories self-adhesive brads, though I usually use a dab of glue behind them. And they added a lot to this. I'm really glad I thought to pull those out. I put 2 in 2 clusters and 1 in another. You'll see I have some Simple Stories pink enamel dots, but I opt not to use those. The pink in the stamped flowers is not quite the pink in the other flowers, and I didn't want to add yet another pink that wasn't quite the same. The 2 that I have coordinate well enough, so I thought I would leave it at that. I'm tucking just a little tab in here. It's a sticker from a Simple Stories kit. I'm sorry, I don't know what collection that's from. And then I pulled out a tiny little word sticker that says Picture Perfect, and I tucked it right up in there. And here's where I add the piece that says Write It Down. I had to trim off the end to get it to tuck in where I wanted. And you can see that I've added my journaling there. So that's it for this. Here are the still shots. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm really glad you joined me today to watch. I hope you liked it and will hit the like button for me. Have a great day. Bye.